Okay, so welcome back to The Pen and Prosper, a podcast where we talk about writing and publishing and manifesting and everything in between. I am honored, as always, to be here with my favorite frenemy, JT Lawrence. For those of you that don't know, my name is Melissa Delport. I am a South African author. I am a hybrid. I have written and published 28, I almost took your credit there, 28 books. JT is a South African living in Scotland. She is a 30 book strong author, a wizard in the indie publishing sphere,
Oh, I like
and is
that.
and a Kindle author and a USA Today best-selling author, and just general badass, I think, friend. Hey? As always, it's so nice to be here with you.
Thank you,
How
Delport. Always nice to see you. How are you on this fine Friday morning?
I'm actually good. I woke up early. To prep,
So
batching work.
professional.
We've already done a whole video with them. So this is round two for me today.
Very good.
Yeah, so you've set your clocks back.
Yes, just by an hour. So now we are 1 hour behind you guys instead of two.
Okay, I think as always, let's kick off with our writing and publishing achievements for the week, or our progress, should we say?
Okay, I think you should go first because mine's shocking.
Because I even wrote it down. So my word count for the week was
Oh my God. Well done.
10,060 words. So I did that 10,000, and what I realized is it is very doable.
It is doable. Well done. That is brilliant. Well done.
I know you have not had such a good week,
Again,
but
2 weeks
what have
running.
what have you managed to get done?
Honestly, I think I only wrote about 1,000 words, which is shocking for me. I mean, I really like to write 2,000 a day, but I had things going on in my personal life with my mom, so I can't. I almost literally can't write when I'm anxious about something important. If it's like life or death or illness or something like that, I find it very difficult to write. So only 1,000 words written, but I still worked like crazy. I've had such a productive week. I've just been doing loads of marketing and
Okay.
all kinds of
It's
things. Yeah.
creatively that you're struggling, and understandably so. And you might find in the upcoming weeks that you do struggle a bit with your word count, but
Yeah.
that's life, right?
That's I think why it's important to talk about it on the podcast because it's what happens. You have this great plan of writing 10,000 words in a month and I mean a week. And in an ordinary week, it's very easy, well not easy, but it's very doable. But sometimes life happens and the writers out there need to know that, you can still be a bit messy and not reach your goals and still be successful.
We've spoken about this, and I think we've actually earmarked it for a future episode, is the overwhelm of
Yeah.
being an author.
I think it's
Actually, I
such a
think,
big thing.
yeah, I think we really need to prioritize that episode. But there's so much in this job that we do that outside of the writing that, you still, like you say, being so productive, you're probably
Yeah.
getting a million things done, just not actual creative
Yes.
work, which understandably is very linked to our emotions, and I don't think is something that you can force when life gets tough.
Yeah. The only problem is I have this title on pre-order and I have to deliver at the end of this month. And I've
Oh,
only written like 6,000 words of 50. That is really cutting it fine. So what I'm going to do is ask for a month extension
does
on.
Amazon allow that?
Yes. Before you had to write in and ask them nicely and sometimes give like a proper reason. But now they've made it that you go onto your pre-order page and they actually give you the option only once per book, or once per pre-order. They give you the option of going in and changing your original pre-order date to a month later.
I haven't done a pre-order for so long. Do you still think it's the way to
I
go?
do pre-order for everything because I like locking in those sales. For
Okay.
Bad Six, all those people reading, all those people as if it's like millions of people. What I mean to say is the people reading Bad Book One and going through the series, like I want to catch those guys. It's a stressful thing, like having these pre-order deadlines looming over you.
Sometimes having a deadline actually does make you hyper focused.
It does, definitely. It definitely works for me. I hate missing deadlines.
As soon as I've locked this first book in the bag, I'm going to be asking you a billion questions
Oh,
on this
good.
part about how the step by step, what your recommendation is, literally step by step by step. But I want that first book done, maybe even the second done.
One little tip about pre-orders is don't put it in KU until it's launched.
Okay.
because when people see that pre-order and they see it's going to be in KU, then there's less chance of them buying it.
So that is our writing and publishing updates. You did say you were very, very busy. Share with us what you have been doing.
Okay, so this is exciting. I might be working with Pierre Gentil. Do you know who he is?
No, I think you've mentioned him before. Is he the one that helped you with the covers for Bad?
No,
No.
that was Vlad. Look how
Gosh, you
connected
and
I'm becoming, Delport.
a lot of foreign, friend. A lot of foreign.
Maybe I should start in this way. So I'm clearly the bottleneck in my business. So I'm trying to fix that. So my strategy is like, what would make me the opposite of a bottleneck, right? To structure my business in a way that almost makes me redundant because
Yes,
I've got everyone else doing the work.
yes.
So because I'll be writing, not for any other reason, not because I want to live in the Bahamas, because I want to focus on writing. One of those things I did was for the strategy is hire, as you know, as I told you last week, the AMS experts, Brian Cohen and his company.
Yes. And
So
you've signed with them now.
I've
I'm so
signed with
excited.
them and they're doing my Amazon advertising. Why are you laughing like that?
You see how it just suddenly disappeared? I pulled my chair thing and I went,
So the first part of me making myself not the bottleneck is hiring Brian Cohen and his team to do my Amazon advertising. Now, Pierre Gentil is a direct sales master.
okay. So he's the Brian Cohen of direct sales.
Yes.
Okay.
There are three direct sales coaches out there that are brilliant. Morgana Best, as you know, she's Aussie. Stephen Piper, who is very good at click testing. That's like his superpower. And then Pierre Gentil. And Pierre is so legit. He's been in writing publishing for years and years and years now. And I started listening to him like 5 years ago on the Creative Pen podcast. I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing. He didn't want to be dependent on Amazon, and he has like a direct sales empire now. He has a warehouse, he
Oh,
distributes, he
wow.
markets, got a whole marketing team. It's this big operation, and I really believe in him.
Okay.
So he runs this thing called Seven Figure Author program, or it's something about a seven figure something. And you can do an accelerator course with him where he teaches you how to do the Shopify store and how to make it the best it can be, optimize it, and all of that. Or it's called a done for you. He does everything for you, everything, marketing, printing,
Distribution.
distribution, everything. So that
Wow.
basically that's the direct sales in the US. That completely taken care of. You don't even have to touch it. He does everything.
You then have to manage the back end of your store.
No, they do everything.
Sure.
They do
Okay.
absolutely everything.
Sure.
And he's a marketing guru, like I think he spent over 10 million on Facebook ads since they started. So he's had a lot of experience. It comes with a massive price tag.
I was just going to say, are we allowed to talk about money? Are his prices out there? Will he mind you sharing that information?
I don't think he'll mind me sharing it. For the one I want, the done for you, $24,000
For how
to
long?
for it's like basically the first 3 months. It includes a print run, it includes all the marketing, everything. But it's such a crazy amount of money. And he basically only works with very successful people. He's not going to take you on board if he thinks that your books aren't going to work.
And like Brian, he obviously can't make any guarantees, but it's kind of just by virtue of working with him, in a way, you are guaranteed success because of his knowledge base.
Yeah, I mean, there's never a guarantee, right? So
Yeah.
obviously we are grappling with like I've already invested so much in my business, and
Yeah.
and cash flow is always a problem because of the whole Facebook ad thing and the 60 to 90 day Amazon settlement
Yeah.
period. The great thing about direct sales, you get the money immediately, right?
Yeah. So this is what I was saying. So you don't have that delay at the very least. You're getting your
Yes.
money. When are you kicking off with him?
I don't know. We're trying to see if I can, if cash flow wise, we can afford it.
Okay, so you're doing a bit of like a cash flow forecast, and as soon as you know you can go, you're going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm 100% sold. It's only cash flow is the only thing for me. But that said, it's going to go a long way to solving my cash flow problem because it's direct sales and you get paid immediately. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
So, so do I compromise my cash flow now to solve my cash flow in the long run?
yes.
Probably, answer's probably yes.
Do you know, it's amazing how you've kind of reached a tier. Like there's obviously lots of little tiers. And the tiers just you jumping, the
Yeah.
steps you're taking now are so big. But giant leaps forward.
Do you remember how
Um,
difficult it was to get your first few reviews on your first book? It was so
oh,
difficult.
my early works have so few reviews on Amazon, and you can put out the call and you can say, "Oh, readers, would you mind?" But the bottom line is the readers that I'm reaching, as in the ones who know me, who read the book, it's such a small pool of people.
Yeah.
The struggle is real,
We talk
really
about
bad.
that tipping point again. And
Yes.
once you get to that tipping point, the success, I think the success always compounds, right? But when you have so little success, little, then there's not much to compound. But then as soon as you start breaking through, then all of a sudden it's exponential.
Money makes money.
Also the psychological components, because if you start making money, you start feeling confidence.
I love how when you speak now, you speak in terms of your writing as a business. You refer to it as your business. You don't say, everything is the business. And I think that that is so good for mindset. And obviously, mindset is the core topic of our discussion today. So maybe we should just dive into that.
Yeah, yeah. Good segue, as the podcast people say.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. I know that your mindset has changed so much over the past, what, 18 months
It really
or
has, yeah.
so how did you get to this point of just really, because I think ultimately it's really believing in yourself. It's not fake it till you make it, which a lot of us start out with.
Yeah,
You really started to truly believe that you could do this and you could make a huge success of it.
yeah. I mean, I don't really know when it started. I've always believed in my work. I've always believed in my writing, but I didn't believe in myself as a business person. I remember looking at my Joburg friends and they like accountants and lawyers and stuff. And they are the grown-ups and I am not a grown-up. And I'm like, I'm okay with that, but I'm never gonna like reach their level of like adulting. I mean, I still feel like a student in lots of ways, but I also feel like, okay, I can do this thing. I make good decisions, good business decisions. And I don't think I would have said that about myself 2 years ago.
I think you're also making informed decisions now. You've educated yourself a lot in terms of this space, this publishing space, right?
Yeah,
And with knowledge comes, I think, assurance.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done all the courses. I listen to all the podcasts.
Just your wisdom is like, I just want to like suck it all in.
No,
And go,
it's just podcasts, Delport. It's years and years of listening to podcasts. And not just podcasts on writing and publishing, but also podcasts on mindset. I mean, I was listening to a lot of those to help me
yes.
get into the like abundance mindset. I'm finding it a lot easier to not only attract money, but also have a more positive understanding of money. I like to help people. So money is power, and
Yeah.
and if you have money, you can really make a difference.
Look at this, doctors and lawyers. The writer can do it just as good, if not better, and you're still wearing your team clothes?
Yeah, awesome. Life goals unlocked.
So, if you were to recommend to someone to put themselves into that sort of positive mindset, can you give us maybe your top three resources in general, or a couple of things that you would recommend?
I think the first one would be Dr. James Doty. He is a abundance manifestation expert. He is actually some kind of surgeon. He brings the science to the table and tells you why manifesting works. Because
Okay.
basically you're wiring your brain in the way that's going to help you get what you want. It's such an interesting book. He's actually written two. One is called Into the Magic Shop, and the other one is called Mind Magic. And I read Mind Magic before. It's the audiobook is available on Spotify, by the way.
You've told me about this one before.
It's an incredible story. He's a wonderful, warm, beautiful human being. And yeah, I really recommend that book, Mind Magic. Then I would recommend all of Denise Duffield Thomas books. Self-Made Millionaire, Get Rich
Yeah.
Little Bitch, Chill and
Let's
Prosper.
get Wealthy bitch. That's the one that I'm listening.
Yeah. I've taken it on now. On all my spreadsheets, I call it rich bitch, JT Lawrence.
Okay.
Credit card, rich bitch.
Okay, so Denise Duffield Thomas.
Yeah, she's great. I like her. She's so down to earth and cool, and I've learned a lot from her. And one of the things I've learned is what I mentioned earlier in the podcast, which is you don't have to be perfect to be successful. Things can be like not perfect in your life, you know. Oliver Berkman also talks about toxic preconditions. Like people think things have to be a certain way before they can be happy, before they can be successful, before they can make a lot of money, and it's just not true. I think I'd
So we
start there with Doty and Denise.
I think this is a topic that's going to come up over and over again
Yes.
because it is such a key component of your success and the trajectory that you took going upward.
It's such a big part of it because I would never have believed in myself enough
Yeah.
to buy the rights back for $40,000. I would never have done that 2 years ago.
Yes, you wouldn't have backed yourself. I think that a lot of authors though, right, imposter syndrome first is a real thing, but also I feel like as an author, a lot of people, and I'm talking about people who are not creatives, they kind of, you say you're a writer and they're kind of like, "Oh, cute hobby." Public perception of it is often it's quite harsh, I think. And how many people I'll say, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I write books." "Oh, I'd love to write books if I had time." Like, it's
Yes.
like
Yeah.
they really minimize like what we do, and it's not nice. And like you say, this is a business. Um, and treat your writing like a business or like a career as opposed to a hobby, which is what you obviously have now very successfully done, which is why you started to back yourself. You were like, I am good enough. I can make a lot of money with these books. I have a very, good product. So why not dive in?
If only it was that simple for people to just believe in themselves, hey?
Right. Okay. We did touch on this last week, but I did make a note to ask you because I thought it would be really nice for people listening who don't understand the concept of writing to market.
Okay.
When you first start writing, I think every author, their first book is always just, it's a craft, it's a
Of
passion
course.
project. I
Yeah.
want to write a book, and they write what they love. If you want to start making money,
Mm.
could you kind of talk us through what writing to market is and how authors would go about writing to market? If they now tomorrow decided, right, I'm going to write to market, how would they find out kind of what genres are on the rise, the steps that they would take to do that successfully?
Yeah, sure. So, okay, writing to market, you just imagine a Venn diagram. You've got two overlapping circles. What's in the first circle is what you love to write. And in the second circle is what's doing well in the market. And where those circles overlap
That's
is
where you
writing to market, correctly writing to market, because you have to write something that you believe in and you enjoy, because otherwise it's just a death knell for the project. You're not going to enjoy writing it. The readers aren't going to enjoy reading it.
So if I like to write fantasy, but urban fantasy is doing well, there is my overlap. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go from I want to write fantasy, but I'm going to write erotica because it's
Yes,
not
exactly.
okay.
So the market research, you go onto Amazon, you check what's selling in the top 100 over a
And
few
you can,
weeks. You'll see it's mostly romance, always mostly romance. If you are writing romance, that's fantastic. Then you see which subgenres are doing well. Like at the moment, it's mafia romance, right? And
and
sweet
what are you
contemporary
writing,
romance.
JC?
And then another way, so you watch Amazon like a hawk, right? And that's also going to give you knowledge about covers, which covers are selling, which blurbs are selling. So that's your Amazon re research.
And how we do that is we click on that title and we scroll down, and then there will always be a list of what genres this book is sitting in.
Exactly. Some books will even, in their A+ content, some books will have the tropes listed, which is very handy. Then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, those tropes are doing very well. Because it's not just the genre that you have to research, it's the tropes within that genre. So
Yeah.
like the tropes in my urban fantasy is action adventure, found family, um, magical spells, witches and wizards, vampires. They're the
Yes.
tropes. People who like those tropes will be like, that's the book for me. So you're looking at genres, you're looking at covers, you're looking at blurbs and tropes to get an idea of what is selling, what the market is hungry for. Another thing you can do is Alex Newton is a data analyzer of books that are selling well on Amazon. He's amazing. He's so amazing. I met him at the London conference. He gave a very good talk, which motivated everyone in the audience. He does these reports, especially for certain genres. So I think the last one might have been the thriller genre. Then he releases a report and you can buy it. So it's not like a subscription where you pay every month. It's like, oh, it's this week, it's this month, it's thrillers. I'm going to buy that report. Or romance, I'm going to buy that report. Then you see exactly like the numbers are there in black and white, what's doing well, and what he projects is going to do well. If you are just in the beginning stages of planning a series, it's so helpful to know all of that. And you're like, okay, I've got it. And I can write a series that I know there's going to be a market for.
And I think the key as well is now you can't take 2 years to write that series. If you want to write to market, you need to be prepared to move pretty quickly because things can change in over a space of a few months.
But look how
I
well
think,
Romanticy is doing. And
yeah,
and the London conference was in July last year, and Romanticy was just starting to take off, and he was like, this is gonna fly. So the people who
and
went to that conference and are quick writers, they could be cashing in now on
on
his
yeah.
advice.
Okay, so yes, we need to watch Amazon, and I must say it's something I don't do often enough. So we don't have much time left.
Okay.
I want to quickly talk about something that we learned.
Mm.
I learned something so random this week. I've had Linktree for a long time. I think that Linktree is a fantastic thing to use in your bios because it can send people to so many different places instead of isolating one main place.
Yeah.
So I swear by Linktree. But I learned this week that you can now have a Linktree shop, and it's available in their free option. So you can product link directly from Amazon onto your link tree.
Yes, that's what Ollie did for me for my TikTok. He's just linked to my two series, so it comes up basically like a landing page, right? And then the
Yes.
top one says the Bad Magic series, and the bottom one's Curse Breaker, and the person can click, and it takes them directly to the Amazon. Ollie
Okay.
did that for me. I didn't know about it before he did it, so.
The faster we get people to our work,
Hmm.
um, and the less links and
Yeah,
clicks
the
they have
less
to make.
friction. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want frictionless purchases.
I think that is everything we had scheduled for today.
Excellent. Oh, we did.
Yeah.
I learned something about Goodreads, which I'd like to share. So let's do it in the bonus episode.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes.
Okay.
Let's do the Goodreads experience in the bonus episode today. Okay, well, as always, it was lovely chatting to you, friend, and I will see you next Friday. We will, yes, hop onto the bonus episode and get that done. But thank you. Every week we are learning.
And thank you to our 12 subscribers. We appreciate every one of you.
18. I
Oh,
think we're up to
18. Sorry,
yes.
18. Very
Yes.
good. Very good.
Woo! I'm gonna have to Google how to handle fame. All
Okay.
right, friend, I'll see you next week.
Okay. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.